create our string values. What are the different ways by which you can actually create a string value? So that is what we will be seeing now. So I told you already about single quotes. So we can create a string within single quotes. We can create a string within double quotes. These both are allowed. Apart from this, we can create a string using triple quotes also. Triple quotes can be of two types, that is 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. So when we are discussing more on strings, I will tell you about the differences. What is going to happen when you are using single quotes? What will happen when you are using double quotes? So I will tell you the differences there. But as of now, just remember, we can create a string value in 3 different ways. One is using single quotes. This is also valid. Using double quotes, valid. Using triple quotes, either 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. And remember one thing, whatever you are using, that is whatever you're using at the start, the same thing only you have to use at the end also. You cannot have a mismatch. I cannot start this with a single quotes and end it with a double quotes. If I do like this, it is going to throw me an error again. So make sure that whatever you're opening and the closing should always match. So this is the different way in which you can actually create your string values. And these are all the things you should remember with regards to your variables. And all the basic syntaxes you have to remember when you are going to write your program. And all these things I have covered in this document. So I will be posting this document also to you. So you can just have a look at that and get the understanding of different things. Right. So now, as I was discussing with you about the print function, already yesterday we started about the print function. I already told you it is a predefined function. Purpose of the print function is to print some message. So onto the screen for us to see as an output. If I want to print something, then I will always be making use of the print statement. So now we are going to see the core syntax of a print statement. So remember what is the syntax of a print statement. So yesterday we used the print statement in 2 ways. We used it for simple messages. We created some simple messages and we used it. That is one thing. Okay. And the other way, okay, one second. Let me just, it is saved, right? Okay. So the other way, what I can use a print statement is, again, I told you, we can directly give the variable name and we can give the print statement. We can just write the print statement there. That is another way of doing it. So now there are more different things you have to know with regards to the print statement. So the first point of it is, when you are going to give an empty print statement, what is going to happen? So always remember, whenever you are going to give an empty print statement, it is going to produce a separate blank line, empty line. Empty print statement will give you one empty line. That is what will happen. Say for example, okay, let me just open an online compiler also simultaneously and show you the details. Right, so I'm just going to go for the code compiler. And I told you guys yesterday how to use it. Right, so here, what I'm going to do, nothing inside. Nothing on the inside. Just an empty print statement, I'm going to run it. See what it says. It says accepted. The code is accepted. And see what happens here. Line 1, line 2. There are 2 lines which is getting displayed here. Line 1 is empty. It does not have anything. Line 2 also nothing is there. So any print statement you're going to give will produce one empty line. Suppose I'm giving like this. See what is going to happen here. Now when I run this, there will be 2 empty lines created. There is going to be 2 empty lines. See, line 1 is also empty, line 2 is also empty. So whatever we are going to do further, we'll start from line 3. Okay, so line 1 and line 2 is going to be empty. Suppose let me give a message here. So I'm saying print. I'm saying hi. So now when I run this, see where is that high going to get printed? It's going to get printed in the third line. See, every print statement, empty print statement is going to produce an empty line. That's the first point you have to remember. Right. So the next one, we saw the print with simple messages. Yesterday we did this only. We saw print statements with some simple messages. So we put some string values, we put some normal numbers, we put some fractional value, anything. Whatever you give within the print is going to get printed in the output for me. The same thing will be giving you the same result in an online or an offline compiler or an ideally whichever software you're using. No problem. See, the output is going to be same. And remember, all these are comments. See, nothing is coming in the output. Whatever you put inside the comment is only for your benefit. It will not affect the program's output in any ways. Okay, so that is the advantage of my comment. It is for the programmer's benefit. So I'm just saying, see, I'm printing a string value. I'm going to print a number. I'm going to print a float. So just to tell that, I'm adding a comment on top of it. Right. Now, the next thing. Okay, the next third point about the print statement. Okay, so printing a message with the variable's value in it. So this is the next part. This is the important parts. Okay, from here we start the important concepts. Right, so here we go. I am having a variable like this. Okay, I'm having my name. Let me say. Now, when I say print, it will, what it is going to do? When I run this, it is just going to print the value. Yes. But now what I'm saying is, I want my output to be printed like this. My name is. I want the output to print like this. Now, how I can get this done? Not just on whatever the variable's value here, I want that value to get printed here along with this message, along with this particular message. So how to go about that? How to write that? So remember, there are two ways of doing it. There are two ways of doing it. One, using the plus symbol. Second, using the comma symbol. So for printing purpose, I can print it in two ways. One is using the plus operator. The second way is to use the comma operator. Now let us see what is it and what is the difference between these two. What is the difference between these two? Right. First, let us start with plus. Right. So here I'm going to say print. Okay. What is the string or what I want? My name is. This should come. So let me just copy this. And I already told you, whatever you want to be displayed in the output screen, we have to put it within double quotes. So put this within double quotes. Okay. So after is, I want a space. After is, one space should come, then only the name should be followed. So after is also put a space and then close the semicolon. Now add the plus symbol. Add the plus symbol and then put the variable name. And then put the variable. Now let us run this. See what it says. My name is Anu. Now change the name. Change the name. Now run it again. See what it says. My name is Sai. So whatever you're storing in this variable A. So if I'm going to store it like this, and then I'm going to run this. Again, see what happens. My name is Java. So whatever you're going to store it inside this variable, that value is going to get printed along with this message. Along with this message. So understand what is the work we are doing here? We are doing the work of concatenation. We call this as concatenation or joining. Or joining. We are going to join. So this is one thing. Okay, my name is, this is one thing. This is the first value. This value I'm saying it should come. This is one value and the variable A. Whatever is the value stored in this variable A, this is the second value. So I want this with this. So I want to join these both together. How to do that? For doing that, I have two different ways. One is using the plus operator, one is using the comma operator. So now why we have to do this? Second question is why we have to do this? We can print it like this itself, right? It is printing correctly only. It is printing the same value. Thing is, when you want to understand, when you want to make the user understand, say suppose I'm having the number like this. Okay, so I'm giving the value like this. Okay, now I'm running. Okay, let us forget this code. Let me comment this. Let me comment this line. Now I'm running this. So it is giving me some number, but what is this number? Is it a mobile number? Is it ID? Or what it is? I don't know. Some number you are displaying to the as a result. But what is this? No one knows. So you want to specify, no, this is a mobile number. So how to do that? We have to add that message. We have to give that message. So for that only, we will be using the print statement along with some messages. So along with some messages. So here I will say my number is, or you can reach me at this number, whatever you want. So message is your choice. Whatever you want to give it, you can mention that. So here I'm going to say my number is, this is my number. So this is how we will be making use of the plus operator. Okay, let me say another way. Let me tell you the other one. So here I'm having another variable. Okay, so equals to, I'm saying, there you go. So here I will say my name is, okay, plus, sorry, B plus, and my number is. See, the space is not going to affect your code in any ways. I am just adding it so that it will look nice. So when I see that, I can understand it clearly. For that only I am giving the space. If you give space, if you don't give space, nothing is going to change in the output. See what it says now. My name is Anu and my number is so and so. So now you understand what is the purpose of this plus. Plus is for concatenation, plus is for joining. So first, this is going to get printed. After this gets printed, whatever the value which is there in this variable will get joined with this message, will get attached to this already printed message. After printing the B value, again it will join this message. Whatever is this message, it will join, followed by the value of. So like this only, I will be making use of the plus operator. So purpose of it, concatenation or joining. Now you may ask, now plus operator works fine. So why I should need another operator? For doing the same work, for doing the same concatenation, why I require another operator unnecessary? Now, there is a drawback with the plus operator. There is one small drawback that is there with the plus operator. So what is that drawback? Okay, what is that drawback is, let me tell you. Suppose I'm having it like this. So I'm saying A is equal to 10. Okay, B is equal to 20. Right, so now see what I'm going to do. A is equal to, or we can give anything, value of A is plus A. Given. So let me just copy this. I'm using the same thing for B. So what I have done, A and B are two variables which is having some numbers, which is going to have some numbers. Now I'm saying value of A is, then whatever is the value in A, I'm adding it along with this message. Same way, I'm saying value of B is, whatever is the value of B, I'm adding along with this message. Now, when I run this program, see what happens. See, it is throwing, first thing you see, it is throwing a runtime error. Next, see which is highlighted. This part is getting highlighted. So there is an error here. Click on this. So what it says? Only concatenate str, not inter. Str to str only possible. str to int is not possible. So first you have to understand what is str, what is int. Str means, okay, string. So we already know anything you put within double quotes is a string. Int means integer. Integer is basically what? Whole numbers. Without any fractional or decimal values. Whole numbers is what we call as an integer, or the correct word what we use in Python is int. Right. So always remember, we cannot concatenate integer and string values. This is not possible. String to string, yes. Suppose if I am saying like this, C is equal to, I'm giving like this. Now I'm going to say, give this C. Okay, I'm saying value of C is. Now when I run this program, see what is going to happen. Still the error, but I'm getting one output also. Which output I'm getting? For the string value, it is printing. The first line, there is no error. Error is there only in the second line. So this is an interpreter. Remember, until it encounters an error, whatever it is there, it will produce the output. So it is printing the C value, because C is what? C is also a string value. This message is also a string value. So string plus string is possible. String to string is possible. But here A and B are what? Integer number. String to integer. You cannot concatenate string and integer together. Same way, we cannot concatenate string and float also together. This is also not possible. If you write like this also, it is going to throw you an error. Let me add it and show you. Now let me run this again. Again, see what it says. str to float. Not possible. So always remember, that is the disadvantage with the plus operator. Plus operator will work fine, but where it will work? Only when it is a string. If it is not a string, how to concatenate? There only comes your comma operator. Your comma operator will work for everything. It will work for everything, whether it is a string, integer, float, list, tuple, whatever data type. It will work for everything. Let us change this now. Instead of plus, we will add comma. That's all. Nothing else you are going to do. Instead of plus, wherever you plan on using plus, instead of plus, you will use a comma. Now let us run this. See what it says. First thing you see, accepted. Now you go output. See, everything is coming. Everything is coming. That is what your comma operator will be doing. But one thing you have to remember. See here, how many spaces are there? Not one, but two spaces are there. After equals to, I have left only one space. Look here very carefully in my program. After equals to, I have given one single space and then I have closed the string. But here in the output, see how many spaces it is coming. It is getting two spaces, 1 and 2. Two spaces are coming. The reason is, always remember, whenever you are using the comma operator, it will automatically add a space and then only it will concatenate the value. Remember, very important point. Whenever you are using the comma, see, for example, if I'm not giving space here, I'm not giving the space here. So after equals to, no space, immediately double quotes closed. Now run this. See what happens. Only one single space is coming. But did I leave the space here? No. Why is the space coming? Because whenever you use the comma operator, don't think because I have given a space here, it is coming. No. If you have that doubt, let us, clear this also. This I just gave so that it look easy for us to understand the program. That's all. The spaces doesn't matter. Now let us run it again. See, still you will be getting after equal to, one space will be coming and then only the value. So always remember, when you are concatenating with the comma operator, after the message, it will automatically add one space and then only it will insert the value. Then only it will concatenate the value of that particular variable. So this is the comma operator. So these are the two operators that I will be using for the concatenation or the joining purpose. this. So along with the print statement, I can give the values of with the message and the variable name together also. Right. So this is what I told you, difference between using the comma and the plus for your concatenation. Right. Yes. This statement also we have already discussed. Every print statement by default gets printed in a new line. So when I run this program, so hi in a separate line, welcome separate line, to separate line, Python separate line, programming separate line. So this is how it will be getting right. Now, what are the other ways of formatting my output? So what are the different ways in which I can format my output? So one, I already showed you. You use a comma, we use the plus operator. So other than that, what else can I do? How else can I put my output? So one is we have the percentage operator. This is how to present my output. Always remember, formatting the output means how in which way you want to display the output. So here, this is another way of using. Let us try to understand how this is going to work for us. Right. I will take all these things out. Right. Okay. Now you go. See here, this is what we call as a percentage. Okay, this is a percentage. We call this as a format. We call this as a format. Okay, or rather to say format specifier. If you are familiar with the C language, okay, if you have some idea about C language, you would have seen this symbol. In C language, for printing, this is what we use. It is compulsory. Without this, we cannot print at all. So how will you use this? We will say percentage D. This we will use for integer. We will use percentage F. This we will use for the float. We will use percentage S. This we will use for the string values. So like this, every data type has one format specifier. So in Python, we can actually make use of this format specifier also. It is accepted. Okay, but it is an old school method. Okay, it is an old school method. Now we have much more different ways of formatting. So this is not very frequently used, but it is available. Okay, so we have to remember these three. Percentage D when we want to print some numbers, percentage F when we want to print any decimal value, percentage S when we want to print any string value. So remember these three. These are the common thing that we will be using in our program. Right. So now, how I want my output to be shown. See here, this is what I want my. I have used the. Guys. Let me just take it and then I'll tell you about the spacings. Which. Right, there you go. Let us try to understand this. Sorry. Right. So here, see what I'm doing. I want my output to be printed in this particular format. See, my name is Anusha, comma, and I am this much of years old. Full stop. My semester percentage is 89.23%. The symbol also should be coming. My output needs to be displayed in this format. Right. So for this, how I can print it, how I can use the print statement to print an output in this format, because name is stored in under one variable, age is stored under another variable, my semester percentage is stored under another variable. You can just check it out here. See, name in a variable called as name, right? So now age, here the variable, percentage in another variable. So now how to write this? So here I am going to make use of this percentage symbol. This is one way. This is the first way of printing the output. Right. I will be within double quotes. I will say my name is. After this, what should come? My name should come. My name is of what data type? It is a string. So we will be using percentage yes here. You understand? Since name is of a string type, you will be giving a percentage yes here. Comma. Then what else? And I am. So much of years old. Years old. So here we will always have in form of an integer. Will you say, if someone asks you what is your age, what will you tell him? I am 10 years old, I am 5 years old, I am 20 years old. Will you say I am 20.3 years old? No, not possible. So it is always going to be an integer number. So we are going to say percentage D. Okay, then full stop, my semester percentages. It is going to be a floating point number. Okay, so floating point, that is after the decimal point, how many values you want to print. Okay, so now first let us take it out. First let us print it as it is. Okay, let us try to print it as it is and see how is the output coming. You see here. So 89.23 followed by 00000 like this. So I don't want all the zeros. I want only the first two numbers. I don't want all the zeros, because by default, it will print up to 6 digits. So always remember, by default, it will always print up to 6 digits. So I am saying that I don't want 6 digits. I want only the first two digits. So what I can do is, here, after saying percentage, I will say 0.2f. So after giving percentage, what will I say? Percentage 0.2. 0.2 means what? After the point, I want only two numbers. Or if you want only one number, you will say 0.1. You want three numbers, you will say 0.3. So how many ever numbers you want after the decimal point, mention that value. Okay, and then you are going to say F. F is what? Float. We already discussed. These three are the most important thing. You just have to remember these three. Right. Now, here you can see I am using two percentage symbols. Why am I using two percentage symbol? I am using two percentage symbol because I want the percentage here to be printed. So remember, you cannot directly print a percentage in this format. Okay, in this particular formatting, I'm saying we cannot directly print the percentage. If you want to print the percentage, we have to use double percentages. Two symbols. If you use one, see what will happen. Try it out. No point, no wrong, nothing wrong in experimenting. See what happens. It is creating an error. Incomplete format. It's a value error. See where is it coming? It is going here. So always remember, you have to, sorry, I did a mistake once. So yes. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now let me run it. Is it going through an error? See what it says again. Error. So it is not going to accept it at all. So single percentage is not going to work for us. So what we have to do, make sure that we are having double percentage, then only it is going to throw you that percentage symbol, then only will be coming for you in the output screen. That is why you are putting here 2%. Okay, now after that you are going to close our string value. So open double quotes, whatever you have given, close that value. After closing that value, what you have to do is give a percentage, then within the brackets, first variable, second variable, third variable. Now what is going to happen is the first variable's value is going to go and get substituted in this place of percentage yes. The second variable's value is going to go and get substituted in the second location. The third variable value will get substituted in the place of this third percentage symbol. So always remember, you should make sure that this is in a proper order, because the first value goes to the first format, the second value goes to the second format, and the third value goes to the third format. Otherwise, your output is going to be all in a problematic manner. So this is another important thing what you have to remember. And this is the way in which I will be using my formats. So you don't want to print it in the same line? Okay, we can print it in a different line also. You can simply say my name is, comma. Okay, so no need of a comma. You'll just say percentage, within the bracket, mention the, that's it. So all you have to now run it. See, my name is Anusha. So now again, you can use another print statement. You can simply say I am. So then you need that value. Then years old. So after this, give a space. Percentage, what is the value? It has to come. Whatever is there in the variable age, that value has to come here. Run it. See, I am 25 years old. Now for the third one, you can just use another print statement. So it is not always necessary that you have to put it in a single statement. So you can simply say my average is percentage 0.1 F followed by percentage. That is, to get that percentage symbol, I'm going to do. So here I'm just going to say too big to type. So I'll just copy and paste it. Done. Run it. See, you're getting the percentage symbol also here. For that only, I'm putting here 2%. Suppose you give this after a space. Run this. See, you will get this also after a space. This percentage also will be coming after one single space. And you can see after the decimal point, only one number is coming because I have given it as 0.1F. So it will take only one single number there. So this is how I will be using this particular format specifier. Any doubt in this, guys? Because the format specifiers are very important, because in your exams you will be expected to print the results. So for printing the result, you have to know all these methods. So what are the different ways in which you can do it? You should have a clear idea on it. That's why I'm asking you, is this clear or do you have any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
Clear, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, now. So the next way. So as I said, there are different ways of doing it. The next way is I have a function called as format. So now what I used is I used a percentage. Okay, I used a percentage. Now I'm going to use a function which is called as format. A predefined function, or what we call as a built-in function. A function called format is available. I can make use of that function and I can work on it. So how to make use of that function and how to work on it? Okay, let us try that. Okay, so I'm just going to say print, let us keep the same value. I want to print the same value. So how I'm going to go about that? So print I am, just the curly brace, and I am, again another curly brace, years old, full stop, my SEM average is curly braces, percentage. Done. Okay, so everything is done. Now what I have to do is, after closing the double quotes, keep a dot. Okay, so after closing the double quotes, you are going to give a dot and then format, the format function. So within the format function, we have to mention the variable names. What value should come in the first curly brace, what value should come in the second curly brace, and what value should come in the third curly brace. Make sure the order is very important. So I will say name, comma, age, comma, sorry, percentage. Then you have to close the print statement, because this opening is for the format, this closing is for the print statement that we have actually opened over here. Now let us run this. See the output. Where I am Anusha. 1 second. I have made a mistake here.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma. Curly braces.
ma'am,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
we use normal brackets are